everybody, there's a lot going on here. So you can hear the machines in the background. They're putting in the deep services for the next phase over here. We got the siding guys here. So as I've always talked about, this is Hardy board, James Hardy. And so they're working on that. We've got Chester doing our window wells. And if you come over to this side, so we got guys, it's sunny on this side. So here's where they're working. They're working on our window wells over here and the siding as well. Everybody's happy because it's warm. And Decor, as I've spoken about, we did the interview with them. They do all our exteriors. Chester and a couple of guys from his crew are there. So anyways, come around to this side. I want to show you, it's a little more clear what we're doing with the siding because we've got more done. All right. Okay. So every place that we have this is our stone work. Okay. So stone return here, stone down here. And this is our window wells. So the dirt will actually be coming up to about here. And then we'll just paint the top of this black as a trim piece. And inside is our windows. We put brackets on the wall. It's a steel bracket that comes out that this sits on. So it won't settle if there's ever any issues like that. And then this will all be parged. And I've shown you that on the other place. So it's parging. What we do is smooth parging. We don't do the old school stuff. So you'll see that coming up here. And come on over and I'll show you the step as well. It's been a lot. So this is all their scaffolding. It's a pump jack system. And they just have to pump those. Well, I'll show you right here. They pump those with their feet up and down, and up they go. So we just had this installed. So this is our step, and we're pouring in here on Friday. So come on and I'll show you that. So we're prepping this to be poured on Friday. And anyways, we'll cut this off here and we'll go inside and I'll show you some of the stuff that we got going in there. Okay, so inside here, the electrical has been done upstairs, but I'm going to show you some more detail in the next video. I want to get a little bit clearer with you on some of the things with the electrical and the plumbing. I feel like I'm kind of running through it a little too quickly for you, so I'll get a little clearer on some of the things. So downstairs, we have got everything prepped to pour. So follow me down here and I'll show you. Okay, so we got our poly, we've got our drainage rock, which is all compacted, and I'm going to show you a couple of things that you get inspected. So one of the things that you get inspected is this is our pad, and the teleposts, they need to actually see that the teleposts will accommodate. And on here, you have all of the actual specifications, and it has to match, obviously. So we have to inspect this pad, which they've already done, and as I said before, our radon. So that was the pipe that I showed you in a previous video. And this pipe over here, you can see it's got perforations. That's for what's called radon gas. And it runs from the center of the floor in the basement to the mechanical room, where if we have any radon gas that comes in here, it can be vented outside. So that goes under this and over to the mechanical room. And that is in case there's any radon gas, it filters into that pipe and then they can vent it out if in fact it's an issue. So here is the water line. And it's bigger in this particular phase of the subdivision. This is our back water pressure valve. So that's to prevent anything from coming back. And underneath here, you see this red paint. That is where our actual weeping tile connects out to the storm. So underneath that red is the connection point. This is our toilet for inside of the lower bathroom. That's our shower drain. And this is for our sinks. So anyways, that's all done. And yeah, radon is this one. And that's a vent. So, and as you can see, when you look outside of this window, we have our window well. And I just showed you that on the outside. And the brackets are actually attached to the concrete here. And that wood sits on the bracket so that the wood won't ever settle. Some guys just put the wood down, but I'm not very keen on that because, of course, if something happens and it settles, so does your window well. So we don't do that. And you can also get these in just a metal, and then you ram set them onto the concrete. But again, we do it with the wood. I can make this a little deeper and a little nicer. I can paint it so that it's a nice bright reflector. So anyways, now here, I'm going to show you something that we do down below here. So we have our plywood, that 3/8 piece of plywood that runs along underneath our joists. When we frame down here, our frost wall, we basically butt the top of our wall against that and nail it into those joists. So that's put on before we even do the floor. And it's just a super efficient way to make sure that everything's straight, and then you plumb it off the floor. Plumbing means that it's level, but plumb is actually plumb up and down, levels this way. So anyways, everything's ready. We're pouring on Friday. Chester gets in here. He's probably going to come in either on the weekend or Monday, and he'll start framing. I've got the plumbers coming back next week to start their plumbing, then the heating guys, then our electricians are in, and this will be all wrapped up. And then we can start our insulation, drywall, and tape. So. So we've got our rough-ins completed on the main floor now. We've got this shower enclosure that has to go down into the basement. The electrical's done, and we got a fireplace in now, which we'll show you in a minute here. But something that you can notice on the floor, Chester Schwer, my buddy and framer, he comes around and he's marked everything on the floor after the electricians have gone through, corresponding to the lights and the plugs and everything, so that when the drywall, the board hangers are in here, if there's no hole up there, it means they've missed the light, because on the floor, he's marked out all of the lights and plugs. So it's a common theme that they put the board up and of course they miss something, but you know, we can always find it. But anyways, this just makes it easier for them. So over here, we put our fireplace in the other day, and so now Chester will come back and he'll finish framing this in. And so these standoffs are as close as you can get with a combustible material. Across here, our drywall will come, and our drywall will come down below. And then we'll tile or put stone on, whatever we choose, and again, our mantle. And here's our electrical and everything for TV and telephone. So basically, we were supposed to pour today our garage floor and our basement floor. We had it booked, and they phoned and said, man, we've got to move you to 11 o'clock and 12 o'clock from 8 and 9. And that's just not good for a basement pour, because the guys can end up spending a long time in the basement finalizing it, and it ends up being pretty late. So anyways, we've moved that to Monday, which means we had to move Chester for framing, and we had to move our plumbers and our heating, and everybody gets moved. So whenever somebody cancels on you that is that important, it's a huge pain. So anyways, doesn't matter, we got to carry on. This house is way ahead of schedule. We're doing great, and we're hoping to be in probably mid-August, because they're almost done the exterior now as well. So anyways, it's looking good. Thanks for tuning in.